We come up to the air station, and it's still there. Well, Odd is. Protu apparently died in an accident. His ship went down, and he hasn't been seen since then. But Oddup's still there. He agreed to allow us to travel with him along, but he agreed to let us travel with him on the Midnight Raven, which is his ship that's in, I guess you could say, okay condition. As long as
It flies.
we pay the price. Yeah, it flies. It gets us where we're going, apparently. As long as we pay him with hook core eggs that he wants us to go help him acquire, and also visit a temple where he lost his adventurers pack that had a very special dagger that he wanted to recover. So we made our way. He also let us know that Glackerstu, Blending Stone, and Mesobaron have gone mad with some type of disease. And so we are trying to see if we can wait that out, because apparently the higher ups in the city are figuring out how to fix it. So we are trying to wait it out by going to different places and see if the gone mad kind of just goes away. We visit the Oozing Temple. As soon as we got inside the temple door, it started collapsing, and so we got. Sorry, my kid started crying. Dave,
Shake him.
Just
shake him really good. Shake him. No, I'm
Yeah,
just
right.
kidding. Yeah, sure, I'll take over. Yeah, you guys got into the Temple of Ooze, and basically as soon as you guys entered, what happened was it started kind of filling up with water. Well, it didn't kind of. It started filling up with water. There's a cave in behind you, and you guys. It's basically it was a race of time for two things. Is a race of time to help Oddup find find the fountain that had his stuff, his dagger, his prized dagger, that he left there decades before when he was captured by the Drow, him and his brother, and to actually get out because this place is starting to fill up with water, and you know there was no visible way out because the way that you guys came in was basically blocked off. So you guys found the fountain eventually. And unfortunately, a black pudding found everyone. It was a very valiant fight, but with a insane critical. Everybody watched Edith die from one shot from this massive black pudding. Then this thing, and the party actually did a great job wearing it down. I mean, it was a black pudding is really strong for that. That's one of the rare creatures in D&D 5e that actually gives a group a run for its money one-on-one, like the challenge system, like the challenge rating system is supposed to be. You know, they were challenged. It is a challenge rating 3 creature. They had a party of 5 only when they were supposed to have a party of 4 versus this thing, and it took out 2 people, and it split. After it took 50% damage, it split, and then the other half basically climbed the wall, got Morvine. He went down also. The rest of the airship had seen the cave-in with Kara and Topsy, Turvy, Stool, the rest of their companions that were still on the ship, because this was supposed to be a real quick in and out. So they actually came in, saved the day, helped the party out. They found the dagger, got out barely, back onto the airship. Oddup knew an old drow, an old worshipper of Loth that no longer worshipped Loth anymore, but sort of celebrated her own special drow religion. So she was a shaman. She performed a couple raised deads. And he gave up his special dagger that you guys just helped him retrieve. He actually gave up the dagger as half payment for the raised dead. So you guys incur a little bit of debt. You also got to speak with dead, have some fun with that. Now, this is pretty much where we're at. You guys are back on the airship. Morvain and Edith, you guys are back. You're back in the world of the living, You have a -4 penalty. Is it -5 or -4 penalty? I'll have to look up. Yeah, I'll have to. Yeah, if it's 4, you guys will be -4 for the entirety of the game, and the next game it'll be -3, -2. So it'll be like resurrection effects. As long as it's not like, just thank goodness it's not like first edition or second edition anymore, where you actually lose ability scores and levels and experience points and all that stuff. So you guys will have a little negative modifier for a little while, and we'll may adjust it on the way. So, but you guys are back on the airship. You're back on the Midnight Raven. Oddop has given up his dagger, and you guys are on your way to the next location. And Oddop is beside himself. He feels bad for what happens. Well, for what had happened, and you guys are now on your way to this special tomb that Oddop had known of many decades prior. That was once a sort of like a floating tomb on the surface world, but now has sort of crashed and descended down into the Underdark through this this chasm, and in a cave and incurred, and it could have possibly been a way out from the Underdark to the surface world, but you guys actually do arrive at the tomb, and you are outside of it, and it is sort of like you're in a sort of like a very cavernous area, and you have to hike for several miles in this cavern. And of course, Oddop leads the way, and all of the characters are there. All of you guys are there, and actually, let's kind of go back. Is there anything you guys wanna RP anything on the ship before we actually get on? Well, actually, we'll kind of on the 2-mile hike from the Midnight Raven to the temple itself. You guys can have a little bit of time to kind of catch up and discuss anything that needs to be discussed. So I'll give it to you guys.
I'm still kind of out of it, from.
Hey, Diz.
Been through a lot, so I'm not really talking to anybody and just kind of one foot in front of the other.
As long as along the line somebody told Edith that the black pudding is now dead, she's happy.
Yeah, the black pudding is definitely dead, yeah.
Well, she wouldn't know that.
Oh, it's definitely dead. No, they would have told you it was dead.
Hey Dave, does Oddop have any like ink and all that stuff on his ship, like just like a quill and ink and stuff?
Sure. Yeah, he's got a little bit of stationary stuff. Yeah. Why? What's up?
Because I want to use one of my darts and use that ink, and I want to inscribe on my skin, give myself a tattoo of a coil fish on my left hand.
Oh, okay. For what? Just to recognize the event of what happened, or?
It's to recognize my affinity using water. Every time now, because of the prayer that I did with while burning incense and talking to my God, and through meditation, I infused the ink into my skin. So when I cast water whip, the coil fish actually like eyes and its scales shimmer as the water whip comes out of my arm, comes out of my hand to attack the enemy.
Okay, I got you. It's pretty cool. I like that. Yeah, you can do that on the trip. It's a couple days anyway. The airship trip from, where you met the Norlana, the dark elf, the shaman. It was a couple days journey to where you're at now. The lost tomb of Came. Mm-hmm.
I was going to say, did we have a chance to rest during all this? Because I've still got some wounds from the battle. I wasn't sure if we had a chance to rest up and everything.
Yeah, I'll give you a long rest.
Alrighty.
There you go.
Yeah, it's just part of the monk tradition to start tattooing their body once they gain infinities and represent, and that's part of my web position to the water element is a coil fish.
Yeah, I like it. Nice idea. Nice idea. Anyone else? Edith? Cairo? Any questions, Cairo, about what happened, or?
No, I think it's pretty clear what happened.
Alright. Alright, so you guys have come to this area after a couple miles of traveling, and there is lots of moist areas, lots of fungus growing everywhere. Al, you could definitely forage this stuff up if you wanted to. There are lots of stalagmites, stalactites. You can hear all kinds of different pools of water that water's dripping into, and often to the back of this, it seems like the cave comes to an end, and you can see where the cave was, ascends way up into the darkness, and you can see that there's a lot of piles of rubble, and this tomb that is kind of like cockeyed and kind of sitting a little off, and it's sitting on top of this pile of rubble and boulders and all kind. It definitely looks like what Audip was talking about, how this is a cave-in, and this tomb just kind of happened to rest in the middle of this cave-in. So there's like a lot of natural earth and rubble, then the tomb, and it's kind of everything else kind of conforms around it. Looks really cool. I wish I had a piece of art or something like that would depict it. So it's kind of sitting there a little cockeyed and sitting on the back part of this, the end of this, couple mile cavern that you just traveled through.
It's not filling up with water, is it?
No, it's not.
Okay.
There.
We've done that once.
There are puddles of water and stuff around, but no, it is not up to your knees yet. I promise.
Give me just a second. I want to look at something.
They're not talkative tonight.
Tracking. How does that work?
I figured people would have had questions.
Is that just a what, survival or something?
Tracking for what? What do you?
I want to track for black puddings to see if there's any in the area.
Sure. Yeah. If do you have oozes as your favored creature?
It's not one of my favorites, no.
Yeah, you can track around, sure. I'll let you do let's do a survival check.
Survival, okay.
Mm-hmm. Ah, nice roll. Yeah, you don't see anything. In fact, you really don't even see tracks of anything around. This whole area looks undisturbed for quite some time. Even when you guys got off of the airship, this was in a place that this cavern itself was kind of in a weird spot where you had to walk down a ledge and kind of shimmy up against the wall and look down and look down into total darkness. And so yeah, it doesn't look like there's been anything in this area for quite a while.
All right.
Nita's still going to have her weapon ready just in case there is something that flies around, or if there's brush or cobwebs she has to cut down.
Yeah, so this tomb, the entrance to, it looks like the entrance to a massive mound of rubble is about 50 yards in front of you. Now, whoever has, and it's pitch black in here, except for there's a slight illumination from all of the growth of the myconids and the other fungus. But if you can't see, you're not going to see a whole lot. So you need to think about who has sight and who does not have sight. I'm pretty sure that Brother Echo, he can see. I believe everybody can see right now.
No, if there's no light, I can't see.
Halflings, they don't have no, they don't, do they? Yeah, they have dark vision, don't they?
I think half elf.
No, they
maybe, but
don't,
not
'cause they
halfling.
get
No,
lucky.
no, yeah, halflings don't have
That's
dark
right.
vision. They don't even have low
Halfling,
light. They are
yeah.
just normal.
Yeah, so you're blind as a bat in here right now. You're kind of like tugging on the back of Edith. You're kind of like holding on to the back or whoever. You know, but everybody else can see except for Eco. So you're gonna put on any kind of light or what?
Yeah.
All right.
Gonna light a torch.
All right.
So I draw one for my pack and instead of using a matchbox or anything, I just use my attunement and make it go ablaze.
Okay. Also, another new feature. Thank you, Miss Scarlet, for finding out what this star finally has done. You guys see the stars on your name up there. That's for inspiration. So everybody has inspiration, and whenever you tell me you want to use your information, tell me first before you roll. And then whenever you use your inspiration, you'll roll with advantage. And then you just go inside of your character sheet, right beside your name, and just click off the little inspiration button, and you'll see the star disappear. So, but you know, don't be afraid to use inspiration. It's not like I'm never going to give inspiration again. The reason why I don't give a lot of inspiration out is because people don't use inspiration, and they just continue to hold it and hold it and hold it and hold it like it's never gonna, in case for that super rare roll moment that they need. And there's no need to do it, because the more you guys RP, the more inspiration you're gonna gain. So, but anyways, so we'll continue. Alright, so you guys are about 50 yards from the lower level of, the lower part of this mound of rubble that about 20 yards up or so. It goes up into where this entrance of a tomb is. Really eerie, really creepy. You can see all kinds of, fireflies off into the distance, and you guys are quiet tonight. You guys all right?
Oh yeah, good. Just I was listening to you explain what the cabin was.
You guys have been quiet all night, though.
Some of us are also recouping from a bad case of death.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm being super quiet, and my character is pretty rattled by what happened.
And plus, after that long of a walk, in that tight of a space, and that much darkness, probably don't want to breathe wrong.
Has Kira been able to take a bath? Because otherwise she's going to be a little bit down.
Yeah, there's been no opportunity to do that. Not
Then she just feels
yeah.
gross and disgusting and don't want to have anything to do with anything. So I think she's just walking in silence.
So we're getting close. Is there are there any doors or anything we can see?
Yeah, there's about a 20-foot climb up this rubble to the front of the tomb.
Oh, so we have to actually climb. Okay.
No, you haven't.
Okay,
No, you're
gotcha.
not inside the tomb yet. No.
So we have to climb the rubble to get into it, is what you're saying?
Yep, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it just depends on. I don't know if you guys wanted to enter the tomb yet, or what.
Well,
I mean, I can just
no,
kind of fast forward and say, "Here, boof, you're in the tomb."
Hey guys, we walked here. Let's it's here. Let's go back.
It's like pulling teeth
No, I guess
tonight.
yeah.
Jesus.
I'm ready to go in if y'all are.
This is brutal.
But Echo kind of looks at Edith and Morven's like, can y'all
Totally
do
brutal
this? Or y'all
tonight.
need to set this one out.
Oh, I'll do it, but it's going to be a pain in the ass.
I'll be fine.
Guys, we have did y'all hear that?
Yeah.
No, what did y'all hear? Did y'all hear someone say hello?
Yeah. I just heard a like a woman's voice.
Yeah.
Asking for help.
Yeah, I heard it.
Yes.
Yeah, I heard it.
Well, it's either a trap or there's somebody in there that needs help. So let's just find out.
I kind of call out like you know, who are you?
It is quiet.
Okay.
Nothing answers. You kind of wait around for a couple seconds,
Of
and
course.
it's just quiet.
Well, what do y'all think, guys?
Well, we came all the way here. Hopefully this excursion will end better than the last one did.
Yeah.
No time like the present.
It's probably a trap, but
But if it's not, it'll somebody might need our help. So
yeah.
So Brother Echo slowly climbs up, start climbing the webble with his shoes, so he can keep a little bit balanced and have the easiest time looking over instead of worrying about a handhold. He can actually worry about looking. He gets to the peak of the webble where it flattens. He can actually look over without having to focus on a handhold.
All right. Yeah, you get climbed up there. I'm not going to make you do any kind of acrobatics or athletics check. You get climbed up to the top. It's pretty there's some loose dirt and loose earth and rocks kind of slide down a little bit, but you get yourself up there. Everybody can get up to the entrance of the tomb. So when you guys enter the tomb is it is of beautiful elvish. I mean, it is elvish architecture. As you guys enter this small little hall, there's, all kinds of murals of elves on horseback shooting bows with these massive kite shields with points on the end and spikes and beautiful formations fighting, orcs and goblins. And you come to this opening chamber where it's like a double wide door. Of course, there's a double wide archway, and you move in. So, let me give you this new map here.
Dave, how do I message just you?
You would do whisper w/w space GM space message, I believe.
All right.
I think it's the same thing as
Okay, that worked.
Yep, same as Roll20. Hey, West. So you guys are in this beautiful entrance room, and there is a beautiful murals on the stone, depicting this beautiful elf. Looks to be some type of wizard, maybe a warlock, maybe a sorcerer. Looks to be in her prime. She is standing there surrounded by all kinds of attendants. Looks like they're grooming her. Looks like there's also slaves in the background. And, there's all kinds of piles of coins around here. Now, not real, but this is depicted in the mural. And in the background of this mural. And this is like a 360-degree mural that encompasses the whole entire, all of the walls, the ceiling. It is beautiful. Now, on the ceiling, well, about halfway up to the wall, to the top of the ceiling, it starts to depict a bunch of fantastic floating cities. That's covering all 360 degrees. And you'll remember that Oddup, as he staggers in at the last second, he looks at this and he says, "Ah, see, I told you! I told you this used to be one of those floating cities, or one of these floating tombs. Ah, I knew I was correct on that assumption." So he's kind of happy about that. Now across from you, across from the entrance, you can see that there are several empty stone sconces, probably not lit for many, 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 many years, and what appears to be a dusty staircase that's descending down. And from what you can see, you know, the light of Brother Echo's torch looks like it extends down about 20 feet.
Okay. So
No black pudding in here, I promise.
All right.
Is there any writing on the wall, or is it just pictures?
It's just this beautiful piece of art that wraps around this entire room.
Yeah. I think Kayo walks up to one of the walls and just studies it more closely and kind of feels connected to her kin.
All right. Well, across the hall, you can see that the hallway, even though this room is about 15 foot high, and then it kind of domes up to the top of about 25 feet. The hallway is about 10 feet high.
All right, Dave.
What is this great? Is that just a great bench, or is it like more like a tomb?
Yeah, that's just a like a beautiful bench of elvish craft made out of stone. This would be great
Just my whisper.
on the Midnight Raven.
Well, if you can pick it up and carry it, you can have it.
Yeah, Morvine, you can do that, but it's gonna have to be super, super high.
Yeah. I'll throw one in here.
Yeah, you can throw one in the tower if you want.
What kind of check do you want?
Just a history check. Wisdom with history, sir.
Which, while he's doing that, I'm gonna light these scones if they'll be able to be lit.
Sure.
Stick
Yeah.
my torch to them and light both of them up to try to light the area a little bit better.
Takes a couple seconds. Actually, it takes about a minute. But you're able to get each one. Takes a couple minutes to get both of them lit because they just have not been lit for so long. But yeah, they start to pop some sparks and they light up. So this chamber is now dimly lit.
There it is. Didn't work the first time.
It's weird. Now, yeah, I'll type something in there for you.
All right. Well, I let everybody know. It's like I got a name. I heard a name. Bryces of Cam. Bryces.
Do you recognize that name?
I'm thinking really hard.
Does
Bryces,
anyone
can you
else
still hear
remember?
me? Have to wait while Dave types.
Yeah, if you guys have anything else to talk about, you guys do that. I'm gonna just type something out real quick.
Kira's just admiring the pictures. She wanted to escape her home, but I think she feels like she just want to go home again now.
Dave, I want to make sure I have both my weapons out, my two-handed weapons, and ready.
Alright, sounds good. Yeah, you get your weapons drawn, no problem.
As I hear Al draw his weapons, I kind of look at him and be like, "You really think we're gonna need them in here?"
You never know. Better
I'd
safe
rather
than sorry.
have 'em and not need them than need them and not have them ready.
I'm not going to hold them menacingly. I'm just gonna kind of have them in my hand. I don't want to set anybody off or anything.
It's like blood starts